Yeah, interesting. Or I'm down to one page of errors and a few assert falses, which we'll run into, of course. I need to fix this music. This is way too epic. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no music. We try it like that. Statically linked is not a member of libcwd DWARF. Right, it isn't. Grab sources, statically linked, probably a global boolean or something. BFD, there's two of them. Surprising. Well, probably not. If def is around it a bit. Okay, so we need that, I guess. Statically linked. Okay, so let's give a warning. Call DL open from a statically linked application. This is not going to work. Okay. I think that still holds. So let's just add it. A global that tells us if this compilation unit, aka dwarf.cc, aka the whole library, is compiled with fpic or not. Which comes down to is this a static library or not. Put a comment on detect if this libcwd library static or not. Make what? Still the same error. Oh, I put it in the wrong namespace. Put it in no namespace. Let's search for the correct namespace. Do we have a dwarf somewhere? Namespace dwarf, that's where it should be. Put it there. I'm gonna undo this stupid indentation. Load object file is not a member of libcwd DWARF. That is something where we pass unknown load address to. Hello, Masala. Yeah, well, this, I wrote it in the description. It's all very hand wavy and vague, but oh well. I don't like this DL open code, which is, I think, better to fix it afterwards. Maybe I should just comment out here what doesn't work at the moment. Look at that later. I guess that what's happening here is the user calls DL open to load a dynamic library while the program is already running, which is kind of different from just linking it during compile time. But yeah, then we also have to read the debugging information of that new library. So that's what's happening here. Okay, so what it's doing here apparently is trying to find if handle already exists in some map where handle is returned by call to DL open. So I guess that if you try to DL open the same library twice on a row, you just get the same handle. Handle is an opaque handle. So we are not supposed to know what it points to. But it refers to the library. There we found it. If the same shared object is opened again with DL open, the same object handle is returned. Therefore, we test if that handle already exists, and if it does, then we already have it open. If it is unequal end, so we found it, then I just increment a reference count. Otherwise, it's a new library. And this is definitely abuse of the handle. We are not supposed to know what handle is. But apparently I figured out that it is a pointer to the link map. This allows us to get the full path of the loaded library. So if name and it's not an empty name, that means it's not executable. I think the executable gets an empty name returned. So this is a library. And then we load object file by the name that we just figured out. Passing that we don't know what the load address is. That's the same map. Apparently I'm storing DLloaded ST as with this is key in the set maybe. DL open map, it's called map, but it is actually, oh, it is a map. It's a map of a handle, map from a handle to a DLloaded structure type. That was the old days when I still added _st for structures. Which contains this. There's the reference count. This is the flags that were used to open that the library. And then this is the loaded object file. This thing also does not exist yet. Well, I can just add an empty function, I guess, that returns an object file pointer. Object file, this thing. But I don't know about the load address. So, do I need a load address? That is the question. I think elsewhere I'm running, right, wait a minute. Elsewhere I'm running over all linked libraries, and then we get a load address. And so then just, you know, at the beginning of the program, at initialization time, I think that's even before we reach main, I just run over all the shared objects, so all the shared libraries that the executable is linked to, and then we call load object file on those. And at that point I also have the load address, I think, where they are loaded. And that is going to be replaced with this thing here. Iterate whatever, PHDR. I think it's header, but the P I don't know. Cookie returns information regarding elf. Why is this font so small? I mean, I can read it, but maybe not a viewer. So yeah, whatever this is, nobody knows. Maybe that's a load address. Okay, the DLPI address field is 0 for executable objects and is the base address at which the object is mapped otherwise. Which is then, I guess, the load address, or what I used to call that. Therefore, the address of any loadable segment in the program header array can be calculated as that base address plus the virtual address. Examples. I'm going to assume that I'll still have some kind of load address, whatever it is, and I'll probably need it. So, and at this point I apparently don't know what it is, so yeah, well, I don't know. Let's just make this compile and also pass that constant here. I hate this indentation, but I think this is a global namespace, so these are just constants. And we are in this namespace. I guess I'll just copy them both. Put it in the DWARF file. At the same place as last time. Here's DWARF. And well, let's call these things static. Then why would I not call these things static? It's kind of silly to call anything static these days in global namespace. It's kind of more I don't know. I read some point that you should use an anonymous namespace instead. All these things, for some reason I put in namespace DWARF. Could add an anonymous namespace as well, because hell, this is a .cc file. They don't need any external linkage. They'll just use it in this file, I guess. I think I'm going to remove this static and just add a const expression. A little bit more modernized, as it were. That's a variable, it's not const. This is const as well, so then const expression. Well, that implies the const. Whatever. Let's first make it compile and then we'll make it actually work. Reinterpret cast. What is needed? No, it's interpreting it as a reinterpret cast from integer pointer, and that's not allowed. Dude. Why not? I mean, I would say that's the definition of reinterpret cast. But what do I know? Oh, no. You seriously can't cast. I mean, how am I supposed to do this? What the hell, man? Do what I want. Let's see if this works. Nope. Doesn't even consider it a type. I'm going to ask DWARF because I simply don't know. Yeah, except that first it says you can't do it, and then it says this is how you do it, and that what? This is not a const expression. Oh well, forget it. I'll just do it like this. Wait, this is a void. No, that's not possible. Ugh, void pointer. I'll give it a type. I might as well make it a char. No, I'll make it. No, I'll make it a char. No, we'll have to add a load object file thing. Crib sources load object file. So that used to be defined here as that. Yeah, okay. Except now this is called object file. That's this thing here, totally defined, not. And that's it. Going to regret using L address, but no, I don't know. Then we have need write log, needs write log, whatever that was. So that accesses something. Where's that thing defined? No, that's far from clear. What is this? That's the thing. Declared in a header. If debug threading, then assert that logged by is equal to. Otherwise, we don't care and just give it without testing anything. So this accesses object files class type. And if this is defined, then it does a test. Otherwise, you just get access. And the access we get is to the list instance, which no doubt I also do not have anymore. I need to know what this object files thing is. So I'm going to, I want to redefine the B file class type, which I think is return a pointer to which is returned by the object file class type. Let's verify that. For the object file class type. No, actually the object file class type is a member of the B file class type. And it's the only thing that externally is visible from this class. Okay, I just want to know what objects files is. Where's the bloody definition of that? A type def maybe? Yeah, it is. It's a standard list. Oh my, I need a lot of stuff from this, apparently. I wanted to remove that. I moved it away before, and then I moved it back because I couldn't get something to compile, which in the meantime I did succeed to compile, so maybe I should move everything away again. And now we're going to lose a lot of information that apparently I need. I already made copies of this. So I was like, yeah, I don't need this. I totally don't need that. But apparently I do need this. It's a standard list of B file pointers, which is defined here. Load address, and there's the object file. And then here we get access to that thing through read log and write log. All of this is in some header. So it seems that I should keep this header, but maybe rename it a little bit. So it's probably no. I'm wondering why this is in the header. Confusing me a bit. All these things, they start with BFD, for example, and they end on log. Where is that used? So D is top BFD log defined in a header and then used in used in elk filter and elf. So I did get rid of this one and I did get rid of this file. So then it's enough to define it in dwarf.cc, except for the fact that also filters using it. So if you look at that. Need write log object files. Okay, so the call to elk filter synchronize needs access. That's why this stuff needs to be defined in a header. But then I would say the only ones that need to are those things. Well, acquire list. Some stuff here as well. Acquire. Just pure BFD log. Acquire write log and release write. Only those two need to be in the header then. Although it might be a little bit confusing, maybe to, I don't know. You could just redefine them here. That would be code duplication, but yeah. What are they really referring to? wlock these just from private. Okay, I'll just copy it. So did rename bfd.cc to dwarf.cc. And then removed a lot of stuff except what I really needed. So we're just going to do the same thing here, I guess. Copy that to something called DWARF. And then bfd dwarf. And then I don't know which one I will need. This is also silly stuff. So really, did I write that 20 years ago or something like that? I think in an attempt to mimic the Pragma once, which didn't exist back then. Okay, speed it up a little bit. Compilation. No. I really shouldn't need this, but we also ran into a symbol key greater and does not exist. Or did we? No, I refuse to have this. Which means that I can't have this one because that uses that one, so gone. Oh, this is then a set. Yeah, apparently this is storing symbols. It's a tough decision, man. Let's just not do it. And this is going to be called dwarf. And then we have, I don't want to use that anymore. So that's the object files type. This for declared, I renamed it to object file, even though I'm not even sure if it is the. What does that B stand for? Well, who cares? I just renamed it. see, object files. Object files. List of, well, object files. Ta-da! They are object files. And then this thing, well, this is then apparently the place where we're going to define that. No, let's just redo everything here. Number of symbols. Yeah. So here we pass the base. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently there was a bug in 3.4, which is why I had to pass if this is the, yeah, I'm not going to support it anymore. But it still has a is libc. No. What was the other one then? Oh, is lib standard CPP. So that's then apparently no longer required. Deinitialize. Let's just remove everything else. Get L base. Yeah, if I pass the base, and I should store it as well. Shouldn't I? Probably should. Let's just store that to that. Okay, so we have a void pointer called that. Start. What the hell is the difference between start and the loaded base? Dude, I don't know. What's this? Right, space to put that list into. It's just a first attempt, isn't it? So that gives us something, and then I can add that to, say, the DWARF file. because it's probably need to include it here somewhere. Include now, which then means that we don't or should not do this here anymore, because it's now done in that header. And now we completely lost all oversight, and we're just going to try to compile it again. Okay, well, where are we? Still here. Dwarf acquire write lock was not declared. I renamed it to dwarf, and I didn't do that now, so we have to add that header again. I rename all the BFDs to dwarf. Substitute the BFD with dwarf. Object file greater. Grep sources object file greater, which was defined here. Looks like it compares the base address, which well, I just added that, so we have it, so we need it, so it's okay to add it. Probably global namespace again. Let's add it dwarf.cc again. And then add it to that namespace again. It starts here, ends there, paste. And then of course the B file thing must be called object, because of the rename. Yay, it compiles. Unbelievable. It doesn't link though. Oh wait, it does not compile. No, it's LD. Multiple definitions of DCBFD. First declared, first defined here. I have BFD.cc still in there. So I should do my move away again, I think. Move everything away that I don't want anymore. This one, is this one still, which one are, I might as well try it. It's already moved away and then it will fail. Nope. Move this away. I think that was, what the hell, man? Did I move everything back? It's a little lost one. I think I had only 4. Yeah, here I started moving stuff back. And then we have to remove from the CMake list file, well, all of these things. That one, elf is already gone. I might as well also, I should BFD. Now I don't know how it is called. CWD-BFD. No, okay, it's already gone. Yeah, and that's then what you get, of course. That header does no longer exist. I could compile again. Still not linking. Undefined reference to load object file. Yeah, I defined a bunch of things and for declare them and then never define them. It's the same 4 things over and over. Let's find where they are forward declared. They are probably forward declared in dwarf.cc. This one is an obvious one, I suppose. Yes. And then the question is, where should it be defined? So I could go for name start.away and then in each of those grab for load object file. It should tell us. Void load object, debug load object file. Load object file. That's a forward declaration. I think this is the one, right? Load object file. Escape 1G from the top. It's just defined. Not even a for declaration. And then used, and used, and used, and used, and I comment, used. That's it. Line 11 to something. And that is defined like after, say, dump object file symbols. Would I still have that? I don't think so. Code LED stuff. See, I'm seeing a scary amount of code that I probably still need. But it's at least vague. Let's just copy the whole thing. DWARF. Steinus. Was that forward declared already? Here we are calling steinit as well. 28%. 39%. Suppose it comes from a header. And here we get test if load address equals unknown L address, so that should work. It's already defined, or executable, or we have the name. The name is passed, L address also. Object file. I'll be right back. Yeah. I was defrosting my fridge and I forgot about it. What is happening here? Yeah, I'm not happy with that. I just destroyed all the code that has to do with symbols. But. Yeah, let's print that at the very least and forget about the symbols, but could do if not already exists. Done. No symbols. No dump of that. If already exists, already loaded. Yeah. How's that? Delete object file. Something like that. Here I just commented it out instead of deleting it. Maybe that would have been a smarter thing to do. Let's figure out how this ST-init works. Where that would have been defined or should have been defined. Do this on ST-init. I'm sure I deleted this. Yeah. Sure, I have that on. Okay. Okay, let's do this differently. Want to add that? No. Let's see which they are. Include a root. written to only in std code LDD, which I think I deleted. Definitely don't want to call this one. Just deleted this. I'm not going to call that. It's ridiculous. Plus I always have that. Plus it didn't even work anymore. Well, okay. It does, but dubiously. So, what was the fake name? That thing is apparently you start with a pointer to the fake shared libs type, which is replaced with a standard shared libs vector. Hello, Alt Chisar and Jose is also there. Has been there for an hour. It's a mess. I don't want this. It's just so, I don't know, messy. Private string argv0 buffer get PID construct proc line, open it, read argv0, prog name, path list, path 4, lots of stuff. Path executable is allocating assign result, assign full path. So it seems to do nothing except write to result. And this line is that line. That's the implementation. That's just a comment. Well, let me look here. So this one would write to full path, which is a local variable, which isn't used. Oh, it is used here. Right, and it is only used as argument v for LDD, which I no longer do. Oh, it's also used here. Whoops. Totally is. Yep. So in order to pass the full path to the load object file, or the full path of the executable to the load object file. Well, I don't need that because I could totally get things working without that. Well, that is having at least one symbol. I cannot believe I need this. It just seems very silly. Let's try to not use it. Which then means that they should not be called, because I'm not using full path, and I'm not going to either. What's this? I guess this can be removed then as well, that scope. And then doing off and on is nonsense. It was just for that scope. And here we have off and on. I don't know what the end internal means here, but that looks like not correct. Start internal. Set alloc checking off. Oh, set alloc checking off and then on. Yeah, that's end internal. Right. And then of1 and of1. So good. What is this? Expected class name before. We don't know anything about that class. Well, neither do we know anything about that thing. Get the sources. It's a reference. It's a global reference to whatever this thing is pointing to. Which apparently begins as a pointer to the fake thing. Comes down to having a list of my link map things, which is just a load address and the name. I guess I want to store that, or I need to store that. Yeah, well, maybe, you know. The weirdest part is that it just says a load address, not an end address. This is a reference to something that is a standard vector of my link map structs. And it is used pushback. And we iterate over it, and we call a destructor on it. And the only thing I copied here is calling the destructor. Push back. What are we pushing back? We push back a link map existing of codel. I'm so not going to look at that. Is it the same thing, right? Also decode LDD. Is it only used for decode LDD then? No, here it is really used. Else. Yeah, that is totally that part here. You not have DL loaded. So I don't think I need it at all, which means that I just don't need this line here either. And we're back at compiling. Still for undefined references. So I can't seem to get rid of it. Is it time that we go to 3? I had, well actually I did get rid of 1, I think. Before we had only, well, we had object file class type things and then one other thing. Let's see if we can still scroll up till where that was. Yeah, this one. So we went from 5 to 4. ST init is now there. So I have now to define a few things of the object file class type, whatever that is. And the constructor, and initialize and then deinitialize, and then this is probably I don't know, static member or something. Let's see what that is. Grep sources. So to recap what I'm doing, bottom line I don't know, but I just deleted code by feeling, you know, a bit hand waving. Yeah, well, let's delete this because I don't know, pure feeling. And then I'm trying to make it compile, and then now I'm trying to make it link. And in order to make it a link, I have to define stuff. And then it doesn't compile anymore, so then I have to fix the compilation errors again, and then linking again, and that continues until it compiles and links. And then I can actually run tests, and they will not work at all, because the only thing I did was remove code. And then I'm going to have to think about how to fix the test suite, so it works again. But hey, at least we got rid of code that my subconscious felt like deleting. So we have some progress. Okay, what the hell is this? ST-list instance, size of object files. Okay, so that's my object files instance. And yes, it's a static thing that I defined in the header. So therefore, it must be instantiated or defined in some .cc file, cpp file, whatever file, which looks like this, and I could blindly do that, but I would like to have a small feeling about whether or not I should delete it or indeed keep it. And that then of course comes down to having a use of for those object files And I think we do have a use for that because, well, that stores... I don't know anymore. I thought it was my link, which is dubious. Well, no, it's like every time I call load object file, it's gonna store some data in this thing. So yeah, probably should keep it. Can't just delete it. It's a bit vague, but might as well add it, I think. I have no idea what the aligned is doing there. Aligned to bot. We have better ways to do that these days. This has been written pre-C++ standards, I think. So that line, and then I'm gonna put it in DWARF. .cc. And this is defined before needs a read log find object file. Should I not have that then? Why is this deleted then? Needs a read log. Find object file. Just not defined. Where to put it? Well, it's somewhere at the top, okay. Somewhere at the top. Well, let's put this somewhere at the top then. What do we have here? Automatically. I. YY next, somewhere at the top, meaning somewhere before object file, I think. Creator. I'm just putting it here. A random place. Object file class type. And we are down to 3. Now, okay. Next one is the constructor, I suppose. We need a constructor and then what the hell is initialize doing and de-initialize? I have no idea. Let's have a look what the constructor is doing. Grab sources. Object file class type. Defined in elf. You could be kidding me. No. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Section header, string table, blah blah blah, symbols, only stuff that I don't want. What? Why did I even keep this? It's not defined either. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. I renamed B file to object file, but it already existed. And then I deleted that one, so that's confusing. That is highly confusing. What the hell is this? CW and DWARF object file class type. I think this was the old B file. Yeah. The rename was unfortunate because it already existed. Right. Okay, so here's the three functions that we still miss. And I guess that the logical thing to do is put it in cwd dwarf.cc, which doesn't exist. Let's put it in dwarf.cc, why not? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, really. Yeah, dwarf. I'm having an ST init here. Oh, we have those things. Yeah, nah. How many of these things do I have? Load object file. I'm gonna move it. Move it. Wait a minute. Let's first paste this here then. And then we get this one. I'm gonna put it down there-ish, and then these must be initialized, and nobody knows with what. I don't care anymore at this point. I just want them to be defined. Object file. That's the constructor. Initialize and deinitialize. Does this compile? I mean, no mention function for call to is it suddenly in libcwd? Oh, well, never mind. Yeah. Still have to look at how that used to be done, and it was a B file class type. I should have searched for this. The object file is just the first thing, the name is being passed to it. To something like that. Do I have my object file thing? Just add, I didn't rename this. No. Whatever. Make. That pisses me off. I just fix that. Apparently I didn't. I added it to initialize. No, this is not how it works. Okay. Well. Is protected. What are you talking about? Object class type. It takes a character cons pointer. It really does. It is protected, yeah. Yes, it is protected. Okay, and the reason that it is protected is because we have a friend here and the friend is not working because I renamed it. So let's object file. So now object file class type can construct this thing. Now it should work. Or not. Failed. Object in namespace does not name a type. Do you mean B file? What do you mean? Are you telling me that B files still exist? What? First of all, this should be dwarf. Second of all, it's not complaining about that. It's like it thinks that this and that still exist, which it is there. Yeah, okay. Well, so this should have been dwarf. And then we want to know where on earth that is still being defined or used. Away, away, away. Friend. Oh, right. I duplicated a bunch of those things. Oh, all those duplications are still there. Yeah, then I might as well look for namespace. CWPF and kill them all. What the hell is this? Goodbye. I don't know what that was. And now I still have here something. The rest is away. Yeah. So only this one is now left, and that's a duplication again. So we can just delete it. Failed. Object file class type in namespace libcwd DWARF does not name a type. Friend declaration does not name a class or function. I think we're talking here about the point where I said I don't know what that is and it'll just delete it. That was here, right? Namespace dwarf. Namespace dwarf. Class object file. Dudes, compiling and linking has been achieved. But all of this is miserably wrong. It's empty. Let's do an attempt at understanding what should go in there. This comes from bfile class type. So let's grab that. Which is defined here. And well, it doesn't really do anything because I deleted all of those things, I think. We added that one, and then we have some tests. Well, I can add those back. Assert, it must be internal at the moment it's constructed, and it must be locked. Okay, so we can just add those, and then we're done with that. For now, kind of. So object file class type is the only thing in the class at the moment. Yeah. Except I do have an ML base. Oh, we do have an ML base. Yeah, we do. Oh, we also have this one. I have to initialize that as well then. Well, what would that be? Probably base. That's this one. Yep, base. I think that's what we wanted. And then I have an initialize, which is defined here. That does a lot of stuff. and add something to object files. This adds itself to object files. And it returns false if normally and true if it already existed. Difficult stuff. What the fuck? Did I press caps lock or something? No. I don't believe in overlap. Let's just not check overlap, because I don't think it will ever happen. It's a very heuristic shit. What? Next. needed for M function. Oh, I don't have that. Well, I'm not using that anyway at the moment. I don't do that, then I guess. Yes, I'm reading this. Isn't it unbelievable? No, what I really did was look for all caps. So that's not necessary. Okay, not necessary. And now we are like there. Oh, needs write log objects. Dude, I need write log. Do we have the write log? Well, probably then. I didn't see an unlock of it. If already exists, return do stuff and return true, and otherwise return false. Return already exists. Something like that, you know, as a first order approximation. Hoping it compiles in stuff. Now we're at it anyway. Might as well have a step at deinitialize, I guess. Which is here. Deinitialize does the following thing. Maybe I should, wait a minute, let me do that as well, or did I already do that? Test that we start with here. Sort of, I guess. And then we do the deinitialize. Wait. Yeah, also starts with a few tests. Remove type info references. Object file. I don't know what that is, so I'll just copy it as well. Defer, cancel, set object, will give symbol stuff. Let's not do the symbol stuff. Iterator over all object files. Well, we have object files. Copy. Erase it. Okay. Set elk checking on. Apparently, I needed to set it off 2, and then I guess those two too. So basically everything except the symbols, function symbols. And then libdw symbol tables, and that's it. This is the end of deinitialize. Unterminated if. That's line 19. Next 19. Oh, so it must be another if. Here's an have deal open. That doesn't look good. Of course I have deal. Have deal open. So div have deal open. Yeah, that's that one. Must be code that I just added, aka the initialize stuff. There it is. I added this one, if, and if, and if. We added this one, if, and if, and missing and if. That's the one that is missing, I think. And this is if, and if, and if. Yeah, that should be have so that was be this one, right? Initialize. Oh, that's here. If, and if, elif. What? Looks totally different. Oh, I didn't do that one because I thought that was nonsense and I thought this belonged to that one, but it is an elif. So I still need the end if. That's it. Two end ifs here. Returner. Loads and loads of errors. We don't have a get object file. Get start. We don't have anything like that. Get object file returns an object file. We should have this one. Just should have it. So we go back and then try to find the definition of this thing here. Couldn't find it. Guessing. No. No. Yes. Add it here. That looks good. Well, I mean, it's like crazy, but no, whatever. Let's try a new compile. Now we have the following problem. In initialize, get start was not declared. Yeah, we don't have a start anymore, right? I mean, I deleted that. No start. We have a base, I think, but we don't have a start. And we don't have an end. We don't have a size, basically. No. Number of errors increased. Initialize data. Expected primary expression before semicolon. What? Already loaded. Oh, I don't have a start. Guess I can just look at the load address instead. Should have that. Why not just use get lbase instead of start? Get lbase. If the load address is the same, then I'm pretty sure it's the same library. Especially when the size is the same, which we don't have. So comment that out for now. Already exists was not declared. Oh. If and if I'm gonna put this one there. A random, but looked so logical. Return already exists. DWARF. I think it links again. Okay. Now we are at the point where it link compiles and links and they have still assert. So yeah. Now I have to make it work. As in, it's not working at the moment. CD test suite. For example, if I run, well, I only have one example actually. That's this location thing here. Maybe I should write another one as well, but hey, if that should work. No, I mean, it should be the right command. Assertion false failed. Yay. The big question is, however, what about the most basic test that I have? So instead of that one, I'm going to run basic. Shit, I think that also crashes. Yep, totally crashes as well. And of course, that's then the first thing that we must fix. Implement calling load object file. However, I'm going to stop because my refrigerator is still not making any sound. Something is wrong there. And I have to clean up stuff and cook and I don't know. I think this is a good place to stop. So I'll continue this another time, maybe later today, and then we'll actually add code. Add new code even. To make it slowly work again. I'll probably